nothing happens. Best time to take action is now.
This is the time to work on you and your business.
So I've created a group,
An online academy for professionals and entrepreneurs. Power Partners will help you
to start helping yourself.
Helped me change my life and my business.
Not a Toastmasters, it's not a BNI, it's not any of these, but it is. So it's all this stuff in one place.
Get the results that you deserve right now. So what are you waiting for? Let's make it happen.
see you in Power Partners.
Good morning, happy Friday. This is Barbara J. Beckley, and I am so glad that you are here with me. I'm here, and my wonderful guests are here. So with that said, you are here at the Coaches Lounge with myself and other coaches. Now, I always start off by saying it's a privilege and an honor to have these coaches on my show, because I always tell people they don't get the spotlight to me like they should. They really don't. They really don't. You know, I see people interviewing, or if you want to say conversations with people regarding speakers and authors, which I know coaches have that too, because they have a lot of hats. But people don't really get into talking to a coach and understanding what they do in people's lives. I mean, think about it. A coach really moves people from one direction to the next in whatever they're coaching about. I mean, everybody, to me, and I'm a true believer that everybody should have at least one or two coaches. I have two. Oprah has probably 5. Okay. So let's just, if Oprah and Barbara Walters and, then we're talking about actors too, and we want to get into that too. I mean, believe me, everybody has coaches. And I say it with the S because they have more than one to get them to where they're trying to go. If it's either in the financial area, personal, mind, soul, body, everything. So you need that extra help, and don't feel bad to say, you know what, I think I need somebody to help me in this area. Nothing's wrong with that. If you're trying to get to the next level of what you're trying to do in your business or in your personal life, you need to have somebody there encouraging you, telling you, giving you tips, saying, yeah, you can do this. I mean, I know it feels good when somebody says, you know what, Barbara, maybe you didn't really do really well in this area, but you know what? Let me help you in that other area. Or you did awesome, Barbara. Just keep it going. It does help you. It does help you. So I wanted to make sure, and I told myself I wanted to bring a platform where I had different coaches coming on and all different type of coaches, because I was telling myself, I said, you know what? I don't want to just strictly be the business coach or, health coach. I wanted all coaches to come on so you have variety of coaches that you can choose from. So my only ask, this is an ask that I ask everybody, is to listen to the conversations of the coaches I have on. And then if you see that is something that you need with you in your life, or somebody that needs them, reach out to them. Okay, you're going to get a chance to know them a little bit, but reach out to them, because that's what it's all about. So first of all, we're going to have our first wonderful coach. And this particular person, I call, because I always call lady queens, and I call the men that come on my show kings. So yes, he is deemed King James. King James Vanstone. He is coming on, and I hope he wears his crown the right way, because he is doing just tremendous things in people's lives. So he is passionate, very passionate, a hypnotherapist and an energy healer who's helping people to tap into their unlimited, I love that, world of potential. Love it already. He helps folks overcome fear and teaches them how to heal themselves from the inside. So important, from the inside. See, I always tell people the symptoms, you can't get nowhere, but you have to dig deep. And that's what the King James does for us. So, I just can't just bring on royalty and just say, ta-da, he's on the screen. I have to make sure we do this right. So we're going to see this one little clip. And then when we come back, we will have King James on. Here we go.
Hello, hi Barbara. Wow, it's so good to be called King James. I've never been called King James before. So
See?
thank you.
So now you
Wonderful.
know that if anybody asks you, you are King James.
I'm King James. Yeah, that is wonderful. That's made my day today. So thanks so much for having me on the show. It feels so good just to be here today.
Yes. And before we even start a conversation, because the conversation, I don't like to say interview, I like to say conversation with you. Thank you for being on my show. I mean, I've seen what you're doing, and I heard so many good things about you. And I know another business partner of mine and friend, Luana Bradford, she interviewed you a few weeks ago, and she's like, you have to have James on your show. So I'm like, okay, let me reach out.
That's
so
awesome.
thank you.
Yeah. So so it's great to be here. And I mean, I heard you saying before about us having coaches, and I would agree, it's so important to have a coach. And as a coach, I've got 2 coaches myself, and that's, it's really cool. I would recommend that to anybody.
Yeah. And James, I always, tell people that I talk to, because I mean, I'm a coach too. And, I train people in visibility and social media. And I said, always, just be selective, because this is your life. You're trying to, do the best you can. You don't know everything. I know I don't. And it's good to have those other people, around you. So I want to dig deep with you, because I know you do a lot of things in the hypnotherapy area and that energy healer. So can you I always ask people to like pull that curtain and say, okay, how did you start in this area before we start talking about what you do?
Yeah, well, I mean, that's a really good question, actually, there that you're kicking off with. So basically, I mean, I had a really bad accident in 2001. 2001, I mean, that was a bad year, let's face it, with 9/11. But on the 1st of August, so before 9/11, I got up one morning. I was working in construction, driving a digger, and the digger had a flat tire. And so here's me, I'm putting the air into this digger tire, and the air's going in, and the tire's going up, and then bang! The rim off the digger tire came off. It knocked me for 6. You probably noticed I've got see the scar on the head there?
Oh, wow. Yes.
Yeah, so that was from that. So anyway, yeah, long story short. So from that, I had time away from work. I then went and studied psychology and majored in that, and did psychotherapy, where I did counseling for sort of 10 years, helping clients with depression and other issues. That was with the National Health Service in the UK. But from that as well, that I think the main thing that helped me get over the trauma of this bang on the head was hypnotherapy. And it worked absolute wonders. And so it was that really inspired me to get into hypnotherapy, because I know just how powerful it is and how it can really help you, with so many different things. So that's how I came across hypnotherapy, and that's why I'm so passionate about it today.
Yeah. I mean, I know, well, first of all, thank God you're great. And what happened to you, but it's funny. I was thinking about when you were telling your story, also, in a sense, it puts you into the purpose that you're doing now. When you think about it, it's like, it was a tragedy to a certain extent, but it wasn't a tragedy because it changed your whole life in what you do for yourself, to help yourself and then help other people within, what you're dealing with.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely, Barbie. Yeah, that is right. So a really bad headache turned into something absolutely wonderful. Yeah, that's very true. That's a good point.
Yeah. And I noticed too, and I always tell me when I hear their stories and how they went through certain things, I know we all go through our own stories. And then when I hear about, I went through this, but then now I'm doing this, I'm like, it's just like that silver lining, like, oh, this is what I'm supposed to be doing in life, or this is who I'm supposed to be helping. So I'm so, glad that you went the other way, because sometimes you can choose. I always tell people you can choose either way. You can choose, the right way and listen to that small voice inside and say, okay, I think it go this way. Or you could say, that's okay, I don't think that's it. And then you miss out,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, yeah. There can be challenging times, and I think you see the wonderful thing you see with trauma, unfortunately, it gets us at a subconscious level because the fear and the memory of what happened is so embedded that it can hold us back in our lives. And so that with the hypnotherapy, what that does is that gets to the root of your subconscious mind, and it enables you to work through it. So in a sense, you're unhypnotizing people, you know. So as a hypnotherapist and a hypnotic coach, we're unhypnotizing. We're not hypnotizing. We're unhypnotizing people from the negativity that's going on in there.
Yeah, and it's so easy, James, that it's I always thought of like we can think more negative than the positive. It's like we're so easy to think
Yeah.
the negative first than the positive. Now, just saying that, what are your thoughts about that? Because I know you deal in that area, with depression and everything that with people.
Yeah, well, that's a good question, Barbara. And I mean, like, as human beings, right, we think between 60 and 80,000 thoughts each and every day. And, well, 95% of those thoughts, they're done on autopilot. So for anybody that's suffering with stress or anxiety or depression, it's a load of automatic negative thoughts that then get converted into feelings, into the body, that causes us to be low, and we feel that we go through that cycle every day, and we just feel as though there's no way out. And the good news is there is, we can heal. It doesn't always seem as though it's going to be very possible, but we can absolutely heal. Yes. And there's many people that are doing.
Yeah, and I'm loving you saying that, because sometimes you have to making that decision that you want to get to that point. Because I know some people, sometimes they stay in it because they feel like there's no way out to go. It's just like, okay, this is my fear. I'm depressed. I'm going through. I went through certain things, so I'm just going to sit in this. And I always say, I said, no, it's better than that. You can do better. I mean, we can move forward in that area.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you're right. And unfortunately, we go into habits. We're very habitual. So, we wake up in the morning, we lean over, we turn on the phone, then we get up, we go and make a cup of coffee, and we're very sort of in routine. And so we get into the habit of all the negativity. Whereas the good news is there's never been a better time with the resources we've got online to reach out, even to free resources that are out there. There's never been a better time to get the support to improve how we feel.
Yeah, definitely. And I always tell people that there's always hope. I mean, I know for myself, I've been through trauma when I was younger. At the age of 17, my father basically was murdered, and I lost him from that. And that was a huge trauma, because he was he was my diamond. That's one of the reasons why I call the Diamond Network, because I related to him, because he called me a diamond in the rough when I was younger. So when I lost him, it was very, James, I mean, at the age of 17, I was just about to graduate from high school. It was a lot of stuff going on. And then to have that happen. And then that's why I tell people, I said, even through that, I moved forward, because I decided at that time for him, because I wanted to make sure I was making him proud. But I knew there was something else that I had to do in life, and not just be to a point of, just being, down and out.
Yes. Yeah, that's amazing, Barbara. I mean, that's an amazing story. I can't imagine what you went through, at that pivotal age of 17 as well. Like you say, it's like there's big crossroads going on at that age. And for that to have happened, I mean, well done to you. You've done so well, because like you say, there's that choice. You can go this way or this way, and it's very easy to go perhaps the wrong way. Yeah. And so, well done to you.
Well, thank you so much, King James. So now the other question I had for you, now, when people want to, let's say that, the people that you work with, individuals that want to come to you and have certain the problems, do you deal with just like depression and trauma, or is there a variety of different aspects that you deal with them?
So, yeah, that's a good question. So, yeah, I mean, all kinds of things. So everything from phobias, addictions, it can be lack of motivation, procrastination, any kind of fear-based issue, pretty much, including trauma. I work very well with post-traumatic stress disorder as well. And as you say, I mean, depression, obviously there's different tiers to depression. And so, you know, I'm not saying that I can cure everything, you know, because I'm doing healing. I'm doing like Reiki healing as well as hypnosis. So these are complementary therapies. And so, you know, sometimes it can work well if you are with a psychiatrist as well, or a psychologist. It can complement what's happening there. But I offer a free half an hour hypnotherapy session, and I would urge viewers to contact me through Facebook or whatever, and book him. It's free. I'm on a mission because I want people to experience hypnotherapy, just so that they can become aware of how powerful it is to get in tune with your own subconscious mind, as a means to healing. Because, you know, the subconscious mind, it's always there. It's always helping us. It wants to help us. And unfortunately, you know, we let it hinder us. So please do book in with me. I'd love to give you that free session on Zoom so that you can experience it for yourself.
Oh, wow. So I'm already going to be, so I know I got to get and book that session with you. I mean, that's going to be amazing. I already see that it's going to be a really helpful thing to do for me in my life, is doing that.
Fantastic. I look forward to that. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, when you're doing your, you know, the hypnotherapy, and then do you like coach people through, like, is there certain sessions you have, or is there certain packages or coaching that you do?
Yes. Yeah. So I do like a de-stress program, which is a whole variety of different. So it's from using hypnosis and hypnotherapy through to kind of counseling. So first of all, counseling and getting out what it is that needs to be helped with, and then a variety of energy techniques. So from emotional freedom technique, which is tapping, which you may have heard of, which is quite powerful, and breath work. Different kind of breath work. Breathing is so important, and there's so many ways that you can improve how you feel through improving, you know, the breathing. And then also working through with people on their values and their belief system, and helping people to change some of the negative beliefs that they may hold. Because, you know, I mean, a belief is just a thought that we think over and over again. And it's helping people to be aware that your thoughts, you can step into more nurturing thoughts, softer thoughts that aren't so harsh, easier thoughts that help you feel better. Because a lot of the time, you know, we beat ourselves up and we're really hard on ourselves unnecessarily. And a lot of that can be due to our subconscious and the negative voices we've had as we've grown up, from other people, from family, from enemies, from, you know, people in the school environment. And these things are still there. You know, you might have been bullied at school and never worked through that trauma, and it might be affecting you today. It's that kind of thing.
Ooh, now that just pause for a minute. You just said something really powerful, because I know a lot of people, and myself, that was bullied too. That's another story. And sometimes if you don't, like you said, James, if you don't really look deep into it, it can trigger things when you're older. And then there's certain things that happen in your life, or people say something, or just anything, like in your workplace, and you're trying to figure out, okay, why is this triggering me so hard? And then you kind of look back and say, well, wait a minute, did I deal with the fact that I was bullied, or people talked, or what people said I wasn't going to be nothing, or whatever they said, and it's still lingering in a person's life.
Yeah, that's absolutely right, Barbara. Yes. And it's very common. And it could even be in the workplace. You could have a horrible boss. I mean, let's face it, there's lots of horrible bosses around that that are psychopaths, and again, if you're being exposed to somebody who's sort of narcissistic on a daily basis, this is all going into your subconscious and it's not doing you very well at all. So yeah, I mean, you're absolutely right. So it's about healing all of that negativity that has accumulated and is still there, and is holding us back.
Mm-hmm. Yes, definitely. Now I know you do some other coaching parts, and I want just people to know that you're just a ray. I also want to say a ray of sunshine when it comes to helping people in different areas of, you do the meditation coaching, you do the vibration online coaching. You also do, I think, weight loss too, coaching.
Yes, yeah. I can absolutely work with weight loss, because again, really, when all said and when people come for hypnotherapy, the problem is never the problem, So if somebody comes and they want to lose weight, usually, the thing is that there's an eating addiction there. Perhaps if somebody is extremely obese, it might be that it's a form of eating addiction, and through going inward, through going in, to your inner being and working through it, there's a way of understanding that too is a kind of trauma that is trapped there. So yeah, weight loss is a common one. Vibratory alignment coaching. So that's teaching people how to meditate into appreciation and gratitude, because appreciation, gratitude, they're all part of the love family. And a lot of the coaching I do, it's all about love, because love is the opposite of fear. And it's the fear which is causing everybody, to not feel very good. There's over 700,000 people take their own life each year in the world.
Wow.
That's just the ones that are reported. That's just the ones that we know about. 700,000. I just think that is a shame. I just think that it's a shame, because I believe that human beings, we're all wonderful, amazing beings, intelligent beings, and it's such a shame that is.
The sad part, is such a, like you said, James, such a high number of people that are just saying, I'm done, just ending their life. And, I think about if they would have just maybe did that next step, like what you do for individuals, and people doing check-ins with each other. I always say when it comes to, the mental stress part of it, that we really need to, all of us, be accountable for each other, because like you said, you never know what a person's dealing with.
That's absolutely right, Barbara. And you don't, it's like, if you we come across haters sometimes, don't we? Even online, where people are being nasty. And, I don't come from a place of, I don't dislike them. I come from a place of pity, because I know that all that hatred is just coming from a place of fear, essentially. And, fear is the basis of anger. When people are angry and they're having an outburst and a rage, that is just fear, essentially, there at the core. So yeah, we never know what other people are going through. That's very, very true. Yeah, that's a good point, Barbara.
Yeah. And, it's always, I know we've been talking about fear a lot. So it seems like that's like the base almost of everything else that comes out is, that fear. And some people, now, a lot of people are not going to say, well, I'm fearful of this, or I'm scared of this. Some people don't want to admit that. But technically, like you said, those symptoms are coming out of them being angry or talking negative or whatever the case may be. Like you said, it aligns somewhere where there's a fear factor somewhere.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. Yes, yeah. And I'm not sort of saying that, wow, I'm absolutely fearless. I'm always working through my own fears as well. And that's why I see a coach. And I'll gladly, I'll be open about my fears. I've got the things that I'm working through. But I'm always looking to try new things to overcome some fear. Like last year I did some firewalking. And
I've seen
that was a really good day. That really did take me, that was a bit scary if I'm honest, but it was very good and very worthwhile.
Now, I seen that. That was one of the pictures I pulled when I did the video for you. And I was like, every time I see somebody, because I know Tony Robbins is really known for that, and I've seen other people, I have to give you so much credit, because I don't know, James. I don't know if I can do that, but maybe that's a side of fear on my end,
Yeah. No,
So-
you could, Barbara. You could do that. You could. Yeah.
Now,
On the day,
I
everybody's psyching up.
just want to ask you that question. Now, doing that, is that a part of helping you move through that fear? Is that why people kind of do the walk on, glass or walk on fire?
Yes, yeah. I mean, one of my other great guy trainer, Carl Smith, for the UK Hypnosis Academy, he put that day on, and there was broken glass as well, walking along a big path of broken glass. There was the fire walking. There was also stepping into an arrow and snapping the arrow. And so really it's all about, it's up here. Our fears, they're all up here.
Yes.
And we've all got them. Yeah, we've all got them.
Well, yeah. Well, what I want to do, James, because usually what I want to give you like 30 seconds, I want to take myself down. I want you to give any lasting thoughts for the audience, and then we'll come up and make sure that they get the chance to contact you. So I'll be right back.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, so I would urge you, everybody, just start to have faith more in your inner being, your subconscious. Learn to get in more relaxed states frequently. Nominate a space in your house or in your garden or in your flat or out in a park somewhere where you feel safe, and nominate this as your sacred space and go there frequently and just go into quiet meditation. That doesn't have to be difficult. You haven't got to be some Zen warrior, but just to sit there, close eyes, relax, become aware of the breathing, and be kind to yourself. Get into the habit of thinking more nurturing, kind thoughts. Book in with me if you want to. The offer is there. It's a free half-an-hour session that can be done on Zoom. And I just love to show you how wonderful hypnosis is. So thank you, everybody.
Well, thank you, King James. I told you I deemed you king. All the men that come on were kings.
King James. I love that, Barbara. Thank you so much.
That might have to be part of your branding now.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll go away and think about that. Yeah.
You never know. But thank you so much again for coming on the Coaches Lounge. Like I tell individuals, please reach out to James. You see the world changing that he's doing in people's lives and helping you just move that next needle in your life when it comes to, your mental health. I mean, it's really important. And you see nowadays, it is even more out there than it should have been out there a long time ago. And I'm glad people are really taking hold to it. So James is a very, very would be a very asset in your life to help you in that area. So James, you're welcome anytime to come back. If there's anything that's happening in your world, you could always come back to the Coaches Lounge and we can have you and we could talk in more detail or anything else that you have.
Thank you, Barbara. That would be an absolute honor and a privilege. Thank you. And yeah, I'd look forward to perhaps doing the hypnosis with you soon.
Yes, I can't wait. I'm going to sign up as soon as I get done with the show. I'm already getting excited.
Awesome. Excellent.
You take care and thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you again. Bye-bye now. Bye-bye.
Help Heal Humanity is an internationally registered charity mindfully designed to provide the world's most vulnerable communities with access to education, food, support, and love. We build the infrastructure, develop the programming, and foster the global connections necessary to support the charity and future of the people in our project countries. Through unconditional giving, Help Heal Humanity achieves its mission to inspire and love those in need in a compassionate and sustainable way. Our vision is to make conscious giving a widespread global practice through kindness and servitude. Get involved now and be part of our Help Heal Humanity family.
Friday, everyone. Your real worth isn't defined by your net worth. What makes you valuable is how you use what you have been given. All of us have gifts. Make sure you're making the most of yours. Have an amazing Friday.
It is now the bottom of the hour. I'm excited to welcome Nancy Matthews to our program today. Nancy is an author of a book. I'm going to go ahead and highlight it in the carousel for you guys. There it is, The One Philosophy. I want to talk to Nancy not only about the re-release of the book, but also what it's been like for her to share the message with all of you guys. Nancy, great to have you on with us.
Hello, hello, hello. So happy to be here.
Awesome. I'm loving these coaches that are coming on the show. Thank you, James, again, King James, for coming on the show and telling us what extraordinary work that you do when it comes to people, especially when it comes to your mental health. Like I said before, it is, I mean, when he said the statistics about how many people are committing suicide within 1 year, I mean, it's just my mind just blows up every time I hear that. And it's so easy. That's why I said, just real quickly before I bring my other king on, Mr. Richard, I want to just let people know, check in with your family, friends, and associates. Just check in. And a check-in could be, hey, what's up? How you doing? It's Friday. I mean, it could be a quick call or a message or however you want to communicate with them. It doesn't have to be long, drawn out. Some people feel like they got to talk to people forever. You don't have to do that. I know, the biz word is busy. Everybody's so busy, right? But let's not be so busy to check in with each other to make sure that they're doing okay. And don't just kind of take face value and say, hey, how you doing? And then they say, hey, I'm good. How you doing? See, soon as they say that and they don't really get a little deeper into it, I'm not talking about too deep, then they're trying to reflect back to you because they don't want to really talk about what maybe they're dealing with. So you just want to do a check-in, and you kind of know the sign, because if you know people and you know individuals, your friends, then you know the signs. If they're not, if they were bubbly and they're kind of happy sometime and they deal, and then all of a sudden you hear this darkness in them and such a thing, I'm just giving you an idea. Then that's a check-in. So thank you, King James, for, being a part of people's lives and helping them. So now we're going to get to our next wonderful guest, our other coach. Like I said, this is the Coaches Lounge, and I bring in the coaches having these wonderful conversations. Next person, and I love what he has, because he has the secret sauce of marketing. I'm like, we got to hear this secret. Every time I hear secret sauce, I'm like, I said, I got to hear it. What's going on? I need to know this. So Richard Fletcher is an upbeat, down to earth coach who helps people make more money without spending a lot of money. See, I probably need to sign up with him already. When Richard claims to make his clients richer, he isn't joking or talking about small sums here or there. Yes, definitely. If you're reading this, listen up. It's not unusual for Richard's clients to make between $10K and $20K in a couple of weeks by implementing Richard's tailored plan and advice. So if you don't have your pen and paper out right now, or if you use your phone with notes on it, you need to start taking them soon as Richard gets on. So we have this other king. Now I'm deeming him as King Richard. Yes, he's royalty. And before, but like I said, I can't bring on royalty and just say, hey, they're on the screen. No, I have to do it the right way. So we're going to see this little bitty clip. And then after we come back, we will have our discussion with Richard. Here we go.
Hey, thanks for having me on, Barbara. Now, before you ask me any questions, I've got something very important I need to do. I need to check in with you. It's Friday. Are you okay?
You listen.
Yeah, I heard that from a wise person. I can't remember who. I think it's Confucius, maybe.
I love it. Well, Mr. King Richard, I am doing amazing, wonderful, and excited to be on the show with you and doing my show every Friday. So, yes, thank you for the check-in.
That's good to hear.
Well, there's so much I want to talk to you about. It's a little time. So I want to make sure that we get to it right away in a conversation, not an interview. I hate when people say interviews. I just like to have that conversation. And I'm loving your guitar in the back. But anyway. Oh, okay. Wow. That's
awesome. I
awesome.
was going for some symmetry on my videos.
Oh, now do you play?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. We might have to bring you back so you can do already. I'm like, okay, I'm going to put you for next time. But yeah, so Richard, first of all, before I even start, thank you for coming on the Coaches Lounge. I stated earlier on the show when I first started, to me, it's really important to get to know coaches and get to understand what they do in people's lives, because you and everybody else as coaches, I believe is the very important factor. Because, everybody becomes speakers, everybody becomes these, whatever they're doing in life, but they had somebody, or hopefully they have somebody that's sitting there helping them and guiding them and helping them through what they're doing. So with you, which, I read your bio about money and taking people from, okay, what are you doing with your money? What's going on? You can make that. And you got that secret sauce of marketing. So before we start into that, I always want to know, I like to pull the curtain and say, why did you decide to even get into this field of coaching? I mean, what just made you say, I need to do this?
Well, I never planned to be a business coach. Unlike my bugbear, which is these business coaches who've done a weekend course on marketing and now teach business, having never run one themselves. It's I set up my first website in 2005, and I went on a long journey to figure out how to make any money online. It's not easy, is it? I'm sure everyone can identify with that. And eventually, I won't go through a whole long protracted story, but eventually I became a dating and relationship coach. And this was 2014. And I was doing that for sort of 4 years, quite happily. And around 2018, I got to the point where I was now married, and I was sort of feeling a bit just a little bit jaded with the dating and relationship coaching, same guys, same problems all the time, just Groundhog Day a little bit. Meanwhile, I was in loads of Facebook groups where people were asking loads of questions about marketing, and I'd just be I was obsessed with marketing at the time. I'd give them the answer as I saw it. And time after time, I'd find that people would be this is the best answer. This is really helpful. I can actually do something with this, rather than just the one-line responses you get from everyone else. Thanks so much. But at the same time, sometimes the group owners didn't love it. They felt like I was trying to take over or something, or be the big man of the group. So sometimes I get kicked out of these groups. And I'd be oh, what happened there? That's weird. So after this happened a few times, I just went, why don't I start my own group? And then nobody can kick me out of my own group apart from Zuckerberg. So I did. And I had no intention to sell anything. No intention to make a business of it. I just wanted to talk about marketing. And I made one post a day this was like end of June 2018. I made one post a day for about 6 weeks, and the group grew to 1,000 members in that time. Not with me really doing anything, just me posting stuff and inviting people. And it became clear that a lot of people in the group wanted more help than I could give than just free posts. So I was like, well, would anybody like a course? And 7 people said yes. I said, well, it's the first course I've ever done business coaching, so let's call it 2K. And they went, okay, let's do it. So then I literally did 14K in a week there from just not even planning to. And that was my first business course. That went pretty well for most of them. And I haven't looked back since. And here we are now, some 4 years later. I haven't known what the day or time is for about 2 years since COVID started. But I think it's 2022, isn't it, Barbara?
Yeah, I think so. The way things are going right now, it's like, oh my God. And first of all, just congratulations on, getting into your purpose. I always tell people, when you get into that real deep purpose that you're supposed to do, it's amazing because you can just do it with your eyes closed. You go to sleep, you wake up, you be like, I love what I'm doing. And then, by the way, I'm making money with it too. I mean, that does help. That does help a lot.
It does. The money does help. I don't think I might not enjoy it as much if I wasn't making any money.
Yeah. And I always tell people, I say, what's nice is a 2 thing. You can like what you do and make the money. It's like, hey, that's wonderful. It's kind of bad when you're making money, you hate what you do. And I've been there before.
Yeah,
so
that's so simple. That's like a revelation for most of society, because the assumption is you have to hate if you're going to make any money, you're going to hate it. You can either save the whales and do something meaningful to you and earn nothing, or you can be like some evil stock market trader or financial banker or something, stealing all the money from the poor people. It's like, it doesn't have to be like that.
And you know what? And I ran through and I worked for people like that, so I totally understand that part of it. And it's So now I want to get right into tell a bit about the magic sauce that you have. I'm just really excited to hear about that.
So the magic sauce was all the concept. It was I'd like to say it was something really deep and meaningful and fancy. But when I was creating my group, I was sat there going, what should I call this? And I go, about 8 seconds later, I was like, well, it's the magic sauce. The magic sauce is, especially for coaches, it's very easy for them to feel like there's a billion other people who do what I do. I'm a life coach, and I think I did a few years ago, I did a search on LinkedIn for life coaches in the UK where I am, and there's like 90,000 matches. So if you're a life coach sat there, you go, what chance have I got? Or a business coach, or a fitness coach, or a relationship coach, or any kind of coach has got a lot of competition. So the magic sauce is all about, what is it about you and what you do and your method and your personality and your way of getting results that's different to everybody else out there? And then most importantly, being able to communicate that with your audience so they go, now I get it. Because what I found with a lot of coaches, most of my clients come to me and they say, people get what I do, they get the value of me, but only after they've signed up and worked with me. It's like they sign up and they go, oh my God, this is why Barbara's so amazing, or this is why John's so amazing, or whatever. But until they get to that point, it's like, another coach. So it's about getting people to see that before they've given you the money.
You hit it right on the nail, the head, whatever you want to say, because I always tell people there is so many, and people even tell me, they said, oh, another coach. I mean, I hear that from people. They said, okay, how many, first, they said 1 year it's all about authors. The next year it's all about a speaker. Then the next year, all these coaches. There's like, okay, what is going on? What's going on in the world? People ask me that. I said, well, the thing is, and like you just said, Richard, you have to have that secret magic, like you said, that magic sauce to make you different or more unique than that other person.
They have to have a reason to choose you.
Yeah.
And a reason other than price. Now,
well, yeah.
If your only competition is you're the lowest possible price, you're going to struggle.
Yeah, you got to struggle. Plus, I always tell people there's 7.5 billion people in the world. I don't think we're going to be able to coach each and every one of them. One person. So that's why we need you and me and other people that are coaches to come out, because I can't 7 billion, but that's just so many. I know I wouldn't be able to coach each and every person, and I wouldn't want to do that. Plus, it wouldn't be in the field that they probably need, because we're certain niches. So, you have to think of it like that. So I always tell people, don't down the coaches. Just pick the one that you resonate with, and that's going to help you get to where you need to go.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. And I can see already, I just love the way you just, you just magnetize people. You help people. I can tell already. So you
Stop.
gravitate. You do. I love how, you're just real. And see, I think that's another thing that's important too. Just being real and down to earth with people. I'm the type of person, I just tell it like it is to some people. Some people don't like it too much. Some people love it because they're like, well, Barbara, thank you for not sugarcoating stuff. Thank you for not going around to say it.
I agree. There's always going to be a certain kind of person that's going to be drawn to you because of the way you are, and another person who's going to be repelled, which is what we want. But that needs to be like, you need to have like a really strong kind of marketing message on top of that, where people go, okay, Barbara gets results. Like, I can see Barbara gets results, and I'm going to enjoy working with her. Like, she's going to be fun to be with. Like, it's not a call with her isn't going to be some awful, painful thing. But if all they've got is like, I think Barbara's a nice person, but I don't believe she gets results, you're probably not making much money. So it's kind of like the combination of these things.
That's another good point. I mean, you have to have the best of both worlds. If you say, oh, and anybody can say I'm a nice person, but either do they want to work with me? Do they want to sign up, at the same time? So yeah, that's really important. That's really important. Now, I was going to ask you, Richard. Now, I know you stated that you basically help people, really understand how to make the money in big sums. So can you give us just a little insight of how you kind of start off with somebody that basically needs help in that area? Me, for one.
Yeah. Okay. Well, if you want to use you as an example, Barbara, what are you selling? Have you got some sort of course, or what's your thing?
Yeah, I do. I help people with social media. So I have some social media products and services that I do with them to help them with engagement and everything else that they do in their lives.
Okay. Out of all your products, then, which one would you like to sell the most?
Social media for the biz queens, and it gives them a business plan for social media. It's a 6-week course, and usually that's what I usually sell a lot.
Okay, nice. Is that any social media? Is it like mainly Facebook or Instagram or what?
It's basically getting them to understand a strategy of learning how to do social media. Because a lot of times people just throw things. What I tell people, they just throw things on Facebook or whatever and have the hope method and say, please, somebody reach me. So I strategically show them.
Part of what I teach is similar. I completely agree. People are just like chucking up content on Facebook. One big lie that people say is you've just got to be consistent and you'll get there eventually. Well, if you're trying to strike a match on a bar of soap, when are you going to see fire? It's going to take a while, isn't it? So it's like you need to have a strategy that works with that. So what I'd be doing in your case I would be proving that my system works by posting on social media. I'd be posting on Facebook like I did. I mean, this is what I do. Post on Facebook most days. I talk about what I do. I use what I do as proof. I'll do a post that gets like 200 comments. I'll be like, see how that post yesterday got 200 comments. This is what I did to make it happen. And you can do it yourself if you join my group. And then they've got the proof that the engagement works. Or I'll say, the post I made last week made this many sales. This is why it happened. You can do the same. So I think if you can do something similar where you post about the results you get from social media and the results you've helped other people get, and then explain why is your method different. Like, I would ask you, Barbara, what is it about the way that you show people how to do social media that's different to the billion other coaches who will teach you how to do social media as well?
I like that. So it's always showing proof. Well, it makes sense though, showing proof of what you've done, the value that you give, and the what people received, and then people be like, oh, okay, because anybody can just say, oh yeah, I can show you this, and then if there's no nothing from it.
Unfortunately, that is, you've just described coaches on Facebook there. Like 99% of them was like, hey, sign up with me for enlightenment. I'll teach you how to achieve enlightenment by tomorrow. And it's like, why would I believe you? Who are you? And you see some like random woman who looks about 23, and then I'm like, well, why would I believe that you've achieved enlightenment? Like, what? And how do I know you could teach me to do it? It just doesn't make sense. So people just make these wild claims without anything to back it up. And one thing you're saying is, for whatever reason, the world is full of coaches right now. The more coaches there are, the more skeptical people get. They're like, oh, it's another one of those. I'm really not into that. I'm bored, So we have to work really hard to prove, not just make a claim and say, sign with me, but we have to work really hard to prove that what I do works. I'm not like all those other people who just give you crap that doesn't work. What I do works, and here's why. And you've got to do that over and over and over again. And the way I use social media is, I don't see it as being, I make one post and then everybody signs up. It's more like, for want of a better phrase, Chinese water torture. Drip, 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 drip over time. And it's like, some people will sign up after one post, but I get people who be like, hey, I've been following you for 2 years. Can we sign up now? And I'm like, why are you signing up now? I don't know. I just feel ready now. And that's just kind of how social media works.
Yeah. It's and I always say, this is one of the things I always say to people. And when I talk to people, you got to build that relationship. I mean, people don't know me from Adam sometimes. I mean, Barbara Beckley who? I mean, a lot of people might say that, but if they get to see and know me and understand and what I'm putting out there and answering questions for them and checking in with them, like I said earlier and stuff like that, then people start to say, you know what, Barbara, you know, a few times she told me this and I did this and it kind of worked. Let me listen to her some more. Or there's some other, like you said, the drops that you're putting out there.
Yeah, and part of the drops are like, you've talked about personality before, trying to weave in a bit of entertainment and stories and a bit of controversy here and there, you know, like, one mistake I think coaches make is they want to be seen as credible. So they continually talk about how great they are and how wise they are and how amazing they are and how, like, you know, I did oh my God, I've done it again. I'm so amazing. And it's just, nobody wants to read that when they're scrolling social media about how wonderful you are. But I'll tell stories of the past, like, you know, when, like, times when I just made a fool of myself or whatever, and what relevance that has today. You know, I'll never forget when the girl threw a drink on my face in the bar when I was 18. And that will be the opening line of like a Facebook post. Now, where I choose to take that next and how I make it relevant to business, okay, I've got to be creative with that. But I guarantee anyone who reads that first line will read the second line, because people are scrolling Facebook, not because they want to see ads or they want to be lectured from a mountaintop. Like, you know, I'm so great and you're so stupid, follow me, and, you know, you might become great like me one day. You might become 10% as great as me one day if you sign up with me. Nobody wants to hear that. They want to hear the stories. They want they're there for entertainment because they're bored. So I give it to them. I reel them in with like juicy stuff. And then I kind of sneak my pitch in through the back door.
Yes. See, that's what I'm saying. Just being real, just being who you are, you know, and people, I never have a problem. You know how some people, well, I don't want to be so vulnerable and I don't want to say certain things. And I'm like, I don't have a problem with that. I'm an open book, because that's people in life. People are going to go through their highs and lows in life. And if they hear you say that, hey, I've been there too, then there's a connection there. There's a connection there. And a lot of people are like, well, no, I don't want to say that because, you know, they might think of me a different way. You know what? You're human. That's what it is. You're human.
Actually, they call it the not so damaging admission, where you share something about yourself or what you do that maybe doesn't work as well or didn't work, or, you know, something that wasn't quite as good. And then what that means is people are then more likely to believe your other claims, because you're like, well, you've not said everything about you is perfect, so maybe he is telling the truth. Like when I'll do experiments all the time with like ads and different types of marketing, or like, you know, I've not done it yet, but I might set up a TikTok and see how that goes. And then I'll come back and I'll be like, yeah, I did my TikTok and I only got 4 followers in a month, so I'm bidding that one off. But when people see that, but I'm not selling TikTok coaching, so who cares? You know, if I said that about the actual thing I'm supposed to be good at, like Facebook, and I was like, yeah, I did a load of Facebook posting, it didn't work, I'm an idiot, that's going to hurt my actual offer. But if I do something else and then say, oh, well, it didn't work, who cares? It makes people more likely to believe me over here. So you don't need to try too hard to put on this persona of amazingness.
Yes. And you know what, Rich, I like what you said about, you know, a lot of people, and I see that now that when you stated that about a lot of people, oh, I'm wonderful, I'm spectacular, I got this award, I got that award, oh, I'm an author, you know, Amazon, I have 10,000 books and everything, and they say it over and over and over again, and after a while you'd be like, okay, you at least give me something.
I get it. You're amazing. Yeah. Can we talk about something else now? I think the post I hate the most, Barbara, are the humble brag posts. You see these a lot on LinkedIn, where it's like, you know, it'll be like CEO of da-da-da, and he'd be like, earlier today I saw a homeless man and he was clearly down and out. So, you know, I went up to him and he didn't ask me for anything, but I gave him $1,000 out of my pocket. Why? Because I've been incredibly successful in life and I've made a lot of money. And if I can just give a little bit back to the little people in this world and help them get on their way, why wouldn't we do that? Come on, people, we all need to give back. And it's like, what you really want people to know is that you're rich and successful and you helped a homeless person, and then they'll see you as a good person. It's like, honestly, those posts, I always do a little bit of vomit down my top when I see those posts. I'm like, that's disgusting.
Especially when you said little people, like, wow, thank you for all, they're already down and out.
They might not say the little people, but it's like, it's
but sometimes they do. Sometimes
you do, yeah.
They do. I'm like, well, thank you for reminding me how small and little I am and unresourceful.
They want to show you that they've spent a lot of money on something, but they veil it in some thin life lesson. Like, most people would say that paying $5,000 for a business class plane ticket rather than getting economy coach class is a bad idea. Why would you do that when you can do that? But I travel and I get so many good ideas, and I arrive so much more refreshed, and I'm ready to start work. And I got 12 hours of great work done on the plane, which I wouldn't have done in cattle class. And they show a picture of themselves in like first class, lying out with the fancy seat and stuff. And you're like, you could have made this post a lot shorter and said, I took a journey in first class,
Well, you said, let me help you out.
So those. I could say don't be like that, but I feel like those kind of people do make sales as well. So it's kind of what personality do you want to put out there? I make fun of those kind of posts, and I do parodies of them. People find them amusing. That's part of the reason they follow me, because I do joke posts.
Oh, okay. Now you said, how long you been? Well, this is just a side question. How long you been playing the guitar?
I don't know, 20 years. Yeah.
Oh,
20
wow.
years.
Okay.
Yeah, 21 years. Yeah, I picked it up. Literally, I was bored one Sunday when I was 21. I just went out and bought a guitar for no reason and then learned it.
That is amazing. I mean, you just said, okay, you do that, and now you've been doing it for all this time.
Yeah. Sometimes I have these little whims, and I just, I'll go and follow my nose down this path.
That's a good whim. Now with that, do you perform other places, or you just kind of do it as a hobby?
I haven't done it in a while, but yeah, I've done. I'm good at the guitar, but I'm like a really average singer. So I've done open mic nights and stuff like that, but I don't like to sing in public too much because I'm not happy enough with my voice. If I'm not like awesome, I don't want to do it, So, yeah, I've done performances.
Yeah. And see, that's the part of, like you said, what you do as a whole, what you're doing with your marketing, everything, people see the other side of you. And that's why I say bringing your personality out, bringing some personal thing that you do helps people get to know you better in the relationship building too. So I like that, you have a variety of that, what you do as well.
Yeah, a kind of storytelling. Like, the other day I was playing guitar to my baby when this happened. Suddenly people who've got a baby will connect. Some people who've got a guitar will connect. There'll be, all these kind of things that you just share these little details about your life. It's like little hooks that people can grab onto.
Yeah, definitely. And then, like you say, you get sometimes that connection happens too, especially I think me, I love music, period. So I always tell people, I'm always going to say something about music somewhere down the line. And to me, music is healing in people's lives. So I just,
I like that. I agree.
Yeah, I really did. So Richard, see, I knew the time was going to go by, but I'm going to have to bring you back. But I want to just take myself down for 30 seconds. Just any last things that you want to say to the audience, and then we'll, close it out and make sure that they can contact you. So I'll be right back.
Yeah. So the main thing for coaches, wherever you're at, is to think, what is it that I do that is different to all the other people who do what I do? And don't just think, oh, well, I'm me and no one else can ever be me, because people don't really realize that. People don't sign up for that. It's how can I communicate what I do? So think about, maybe it's the method in which you get people to the result. Maybe you help only a very specific kind of person with a specific problem, but you do that better than anybody else. And if you can communicate that, rather than just being a generic life coach, fitness coach, whatever, but I'm the fitness coach who does this in this way and no one else does it this well, and here's why and here's the proof, you're going to start signing a lot more clients. If you do nothing else but that and then just post about it on Facebook every day, you're going to start seeing some clients. Honestly, if you've got, say, a high ticket program, let's say it's 5K, if you can just sign up one person a week, you've got a 20 grand a month business, $250,000 a year. That's no joke. It's more than most CEOs earn. That would be the starting point. And then if you want to scale up from there, you can look at running ads to your offer once you've validated it. So you can literally do that for free on social media right now.
Some awesome sauce. Thank you so much, King Richard. Oh my God, this has been an awesome conversation with you. Thank you so much for coming on the Coaches Lounge, giving your genius of what expertise at what you do, reaching people, and being a world changer. I always tell coaches you're a world changer.
Wow, that's a big statement. Thank you.
It is. And just see, another thing I always tell people, it's nice to brag on yourself because you want to believe, you believe in yourself and credibility. But when you get a third party bragging on you, that's even better. So I'm here to tell you that Richard is amazing. You reach out to him. I put his website here, magicsaucemarketing.com. You can always look for Richard too on all this other social media, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, as we know. And I know, Richard, real quickly, I know you have like and which is, I'm going to get it as soon as I get off this call here, is the 11 steps to sales letters. I know there's a certain
yeah, well, it's actually, I've rebranded it. So it's called the Automated Salesman. And the idea is that you create a sales page in a very specific way that explains what you do as a coach. In a way where people go, right, I get it. Like we said before, people see it and they go, right, now I get it. I want to sign up, as opposed to only understanding afterwards. So this shows you how to create a sales page that does exactly that for you. Whether you want to sell a product on there or get more bookings or whatever, it doesn't matter. But it shows you how to piece that together. That product's only $27, and it's at theautomatedsalesman.com. So yeah, anyone can go and get that now and work their way through it if they like. Yeah,
and then once you get that and you'll love it and you'll get a lot out of it, then you're going to want to work with Richard.
Yeah, that's the evil plan, but don't give it away, Barbara.
People know this is what I tell people.
Once I've got your $27 out of you, I'm going to try and get a lot more. Yeah.
Believe me, you're going to want to.
That's just between you and me, Barbara. Okay, don't tell anyone.
Shh. That's the secret.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Richard, so much for coming on the Coaches Lounge. Like I said, if there's anything else that I can do for you, because I totally believe in visibility and helping people get to that point, let me know. We can come back on. We can do more conversation about what you do for people when it comes to basically, like you said, marketing, getting that money, and just understanding who they are in their business and that.
Yeah, that'd be great. I mean, maybe next time, if your audience would like it, we could go into more specifics about like the tactics of different kind of Facebook posts I use, so they can actually go and go, oh, I'm going to do that right now. Like we've got the higher level stuff today, but if you want to go in detail, that would be possibly an interesting one.
Yes, I will definitely be connecting with you soon so we can do that, because I would love to bring that to the show. I think a lot of people get a lot out of that because they don't want to admit it, but yeah, there are people struggling in that area. I see it. So it's a need. Yeah. It's a need.
Absolutely. Right,
well,
thanks so much for having me on. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much, and talk to you soon. You take care.